Yes, you're welcome again to another episode of the Lifter Talk Show. This is a show where we talk about women and their needs. Let me put it that way, everything about women. This is where we talk about it. It's a good platform for us to discuss, what women think about and all of that and what they go through. And, it's just a platform for that. Thank you for the last episode. There were so many nuggets that you released at that time. So I must really say a big thank you to you for that. So not wasting time, we should go on. You introduced yourself the last time. Do you want to say a bit, just a few words, just okay. Say a bit, yeah. So people that probably they didn't listen the last time and they are here with you today. So what exactly would you say about yourself?
Okay, well, first of all, thank you very much for having me again on the show. My name is Grace Gladys Famario, and I'm an author, speaker, and a coach. And I am the founder of Multiple Income Women, where I help women, leaders, and experts become well-paid thought leaders.
Okay, thank you very much for that introduction. So today we'll be continue, from where we stopped the last time. So today we'll be talking about, we're still talking about monetizing your gift. But there was a particular place where we got to last time, and I felt that women really, they need to listen more to this particular area. And that area is still about monetizing your gift. But I noticed, not that I noticed, I am aware, let me say that, I am aware that a lot of women, they produce, they create, they do different stuff, and I think it's God-given gifts, abilities for women anyway. But there's a problem that many people encounter on the way. People, when they start, for example, they do for free. For example, let me use making hair, for example. When people start, they do it for free, they do it for families, they do it for friends, and each time they're doing it, they're telling people, oh, I don't know how to do it well, but, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. So people would know they are learners, they can be, higher level learners, Yeah. So, but then it gets to a stage where they need to attach fees to whatever they are doing.
Yes.
Some would feel like, who will buy whatever they are selling?
Yeah.
Some would feel that way. Some would feel like probably it's not worth buying, So there's an issue of self-esteem, let me say low self-esteem, bothering a lot of women, in monetizing their gift. Yeah. And so what would you say? Do you want to shed light? Because this is your area, and I think it's good for you to talk about it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, I have to be completely honest and say I fell into that trap many years ago, where you're finding yourself, and this is what normally happens for me. I mean, at least you talked about the hair example. For me, it's like, Grace, you've written a book. Fantastic. Okay, can I speak to you for 5 minutes? I'm like, yeah, sure. Okay. And then they drop the big bomb to say, how do I write a book? And I'm thinking, 5 minutes? Really? But what tends to happen, us being givers, carers, natural coach, you always want to help. So before you know it, I've spent an hour on the phone with them. And then before you know it, they've called again. So I'm looking back and it's months. They're spending an hour every week or so, no payment, so, and, sometimes, I mean, I had the lady tell me that somebody asked her to just read a report, the thing was about this thick, that took her days to do. Wow. No money. Another lady complained to say, she helped her friend start a care home and did about 10 days worth of consulting work, and even ventured the idea of money till today, not a penny. Okay. Wow. So, I estimated that.
I think it's a phase a lot of people go through, in trying to monetize their gift. Yeah.
It's the challenge is, I mean, there are a couple of issues there. Number one is people not necessarily knowing how much to charge, how to charge, or sometimes we bring this, oh, but you're my friend kind of thing, so you should be doing it for free. And I estimated that if you think about maybe training, coaching, or somebody offering expertise, advice, and even if it's accounting, helping with your books for your business, I reckon by doing some simple maths that people are actually losing close to £50,000 a year by all this free stuff. Okay, so we need to, first thing, and I said in the last episode that when I first started coaching about 20 odd years ago, I did it intentionally for a period of time to build my clients, to get expertise, to get some testimonials, and to build my brand. 4 strategies. After a while, I turned that off and I started to charge. Now, what I was charging back 20 years ago is nowhere near what I'm charging today. But again, you'll always get people who would say, oh, but you're not this, like you said, somebody had this imposter syndrome where they think I'm not good enough because I'm just starting here. Sometimes even just your words, because you're telling people I'm not of value, so please don't treat it as important. But you know what, I used to hear a speaker say, you need to fake it till you make it. I'm not saying make promises that you can't deliver.
But let me quickly ask you this question. Is there a point where they have to professionalize their skill? For example, if someone knows how to make hair, or, is there a way to kind of, because it might not be easy to actually say, I'll charge this much for this thing. But probably when they professionalize it, probably add a bit of training, add a bit of knowledge here and there to what they have known. I think it kind of gives a kind of confidence, it boosts their confidence.
Well, exactly. And that's why I said when I first started, I did a lot for free. But you know what? That is part of training. That is part of learning. And then on top of that, you learn what kind of clients, how to talk to them and so on. So yes, absolutely. All of that pays a plot. But we need to be intentional, because at some point, if you're saying I'm going to do this for 3 months, but remember, like, okay, for example, people come to me to say they want to write a book. The first thing I tell them, go and start a journal or a blog. And they say, but I want to write my book. You need to develop your writing muscle. Okay, just like you're doing weight training. So the person who's plaiting hair or even baking cakes, assuming you're saying, okay, you know what, I'm going to bake cakes for one church member every month just to showcase my skills. That's an intentional strategy. But you cannot do that long term.
Forever.
Tesco will not last one day if they started to give their stuff for free. So we need to change our mindsets and start thinking like a business, to say to people, actually, you know what, okay, which is what I do now. Okay, you want to write a book. I haven't got an hour to talk to you about, because I have my clients who pay me. However, this is what I can do. There is a book online you can download for free. It will give you 4 powerful principles to start off with. Number 2, if you feel that's not enough, I have an online course. They range between £200 and £1,000. Take your pick. Or if you want to work with me one-to-one, here are my fees. With that said, I'm willing to give you 5-10 minutes of my time. So I've already built their mindsets to say, this is not free. I charge. And making sure, so you will remember we're talking about packaging. So I've now made sure that there's something free for people who genuinely can't afford something. I've also mentioned there's something mid-range, but there's also something high-end. Okay, so that's what we're talking about, packaging there. So at the end of the day, gone with the days where I was getting 5 to 10 phone calls a day.
You know what, Grace? I think we need to invite women to your course. Because if we're talking about packaging, and you're just talking packaging, somebody will wonder, how do I package? You're just talking packaging. You've not actually given me the tip on how to package. So if someone wants to attend your course, tell us about your course.
Okay, well, the whole idea, I'm starting a 12-week boot camp called Monetizing Your Expertise, just to help people who find themselves giving away their expertise for free. So it's targeted at women who are leaders, who have an expertise in one area, or even their life experience. Remember, I said that earlier on, whether it be professional or your personal life experience. If you feel you've got something of value to offer, but you're struggling to convert that into a fully fledged business, or as we talked earlier on, a side hustle, because you could have a full-time job and a side hustle. If that's you, by all means, join this program. That I will share the links with Pastor Lids. But if you go on to bit.ly, so bit.ly /MYE, so monetize your expertise 2021B. Okay. So
for people coming from the Lifter Talk Show, like if somebody listens to this and is coming because of this, so once they mention Lifter Talk Show to you, how much discount are you willing to give them?
well, the thing is, and this is the God's honest truth, right? I've been doing this with my one-to-one clients for several years, and I'm now planning to roll it out. But before I roll it out and start marketing it vast on social media, I've now made it a case study, okay? Because it's a case study, I'm giving everybody 75% off the normal price. Okay. So they're going to be working. I mean, by the time they finish the 12 weeks working, because it's a 12-week program, we do up to 90 minutes of a class like this, where I'm teaching you. Then we have group coaching, Q&A. You have courses online that you'll be doing. You have lots of tools. Everything that I have learned in the last 10 to 15 years, I will be pouring into that group. But you're a case study. So I've reduced the price to bare minimum, to make sure. But
so how much is the bare minimum?
The bare minimum is $5.99 plus VAT.
Okay.
$5.99 plus VAT. Remember, I've said it's 75% off the actual price. So if people say, okay, Grace, I'll do it next time. The next time, it's no longer a case study, no longer a pilot. And so it's going to be higher than that. So if that's something of interest to you, it starts on the 6th of April. Get in touch and find me on Facebook.
Okay. By God's grace. Thank you very much. Is there any other thing you would like to talk about before we go? Any nuggets that you want to share with women on how to monetize a gift or generate more income?
First thing I would say, just start small, but start. Don't say, oh, I'm not going to do anything. Start small. So pick one thing. I used the example in the last episode of a lady who turned her Bible study into something that in an online course that generated whatever. Don't worry about, what platform I'm going to use. Don't worry about all the other big things. Start with at least understanding what it is that you're trying to do. So if you're somebody who bakes cakes, or whether you're an accountant, or whether you plait hair, whatever it is that you do, start small, but start something. In fact, I've thrown you a challenge. Within 30 days, find a way of generating additional income, whether it be £1, £10, £100, or whatever it is, but start small by telling people, like I said, introduced myself. My name is Grace, and I help women who are leaders and experts I help women who are leaders and experts become well-paid thought leaders, be able to articulate exactly what you do. This is not the bit to now say, because, and then remember,
I can't remember, or I don't even know what to do.
Be ready. So how much do you charge? Be able to say, what? I charge X, Y, Z, but you know what? I'm going to be honest. Just like I said, with this program I'm doing, it's a case study. So be honest and say, I'm just starting. My normal fees will probably be around £200, but you know what? For you, I'm going to start with £75. And let's take it from there. Have the systems in place. Get PayPal accounts so people can pay you quickly. None of this, I'll pay you tomorrow. I have a philosophy. If you don't pay me, we don't talk. It's that simple. So we talked about packaging. This is all part of your packaging. Get a PayPal account so that people, while you're on the phone with them, they can transfer the funds and do whatever. So, I mean, I hear people stories where they've baked cakes for parties, doing all sorts of things, and they're still chasing the people for the money afterwards. These are simple things. Start to see yourself as a businesswoman. You're a boss lady. That's who you are. That's who God has created you to be.
Boss lady.
Boss lady. Proverbs 31.
I'm sure that'll boost the confidence of some people.
I say to women, you're the chief executive of your own life, Inc. Okay, so you're in charge. You call the shots, but unfortunately, when we don't articulate or confidently say who we are, people will make their own assumptions and make their own judgments, and then they might even. In fact, when I started to write books like the Overcoming Emotional Baggage, I heard people say, "Okay, so you're not a psychologist, you didn't study English, you didn't. So who made you the Lord?" And you're gonna have to justify and say, "You know what? This is who God has called me to be. Take it or leave it," and that's that.
Yeah. And do you know what? Let me just give you an example. When I started dealing with domestic violence, I remember going to my mentor and I told her, I said, I don't know how people would feel. They would think probably I am experiencing this. That is why I am doing it. And she said something which gave me the confidence, to move on in the journey. She said, Paul in the Bible was never married. And is the one that gave us the template to live the marital life. He gave us that template, what to do, what the husband should do, what the wife should do. And he was never married. So, but if God has called someone to do something, it is not compulsory for the person to experience before the person teaches. So just decided to add that.
Oh, absolutely, because you will, at every stage in your journey, you will always get challenged. Somebody will say, who died and made you God?
Exactly. Who made you ruler over? Who made you ruler over us?
Is this not carpenter's son? That kind of
that.
And that's what you talked about earlier on, the inner confidence, who I am in Christ. See yourself as an Esther for such a time as this. But more importantly, go and study the Proverbs 31 woman. That woman had multiple incomes coming in, and she was the provider, providing for her family. It didn't say the husband wasn't working, but that in the morning,
I think she just wanted to do it. She wanted to use her gifts. It wasn't about whether her husband was sponsoring her or not. She wanted to use a gift. She wanted to use her energy. She wanted to use God's wisdom in her life, and she decided to do everything. So it's not about the husband was doing it or the husband was not doing anything. It's about who God has called her to be, and she wanted to fulfill the mission.
Absolutely. I think she's the original multiple income woman, to be
the good example for all of us to follow.
Exactly.
Thank you so much. I'm really grateful for your time. You've been with us twice. And I pray God bless you, God help you, God answer your prayers, God enlarge your ministry and take you to greater heights. In the mighty name of the Lord Jesus. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, thank you. Bye-bye. See you again at some point. Bye-bye.
Bye.
If this video has blessed you, kindly like, comment, and subscribe to my media channels. If there are any inquiries, direct them to lizsegun@gmail.com. Thank you.